I just really feel like the new year, like I don't want to waste it, you know what I mean? Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're new. Today, you and I are going to be going over some things and talking about some ways that you can set yourself up for a great year of growth, developing those habits, and achieving those things that you've always wanted to achieve. Maybe you're one of those people who's literally been planning your New Year's resolutions or thinking about those things that you want to develop for the new year since like October. Or maybe you don't even set New Year's resolutions and have no idea what kind of habits that you want to implement in your life, but you know you want to do something a little bit extra for 2020 in this new decade, because literally guys, 2020 is here. It is actually here. Congrats, we made it. 2020, really iconic year. Shout out to my cute Hello 2020 sign right there. I just really feel like the new year, like I don't want to waste it, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not the only one who's thinking that, so that's why today I'm going to be sharing with you my new year routine, kind of like my little process of what I like to do to set myself up for the new year. This includes things from New Year's resolutions, reflecting on the past, planning for the future. I don't really plan for the present because we're living it. Okay. The things that I do really keep me on track and help me like carry my focuses throughout the entire year. So speaking of focuses, the first thing that I like to do when I'm thinking about what I want to do in the new year is plan out my focuses of the new year. I typically like to only have like 1 to 3 of these a year because there's all these different subcategories that can go under your focuses of the year, but you want to make sure that they're pretty broad, and it's important that they're broad because they are the easiest things that are just going to be, you know, in your mind every day. You want them to be really short phrases or just one word focuses of the year, so that way you can easily grab and think of them and have them in your mind or available to you in your everyday life. So for 2020, I have established 3 focuses for the new year, and I'm so excited to share them with you. Number 1 is exploration and kind of calculated risks. What I mean by this, I feel like it's time to channel my inner boss girl. I just feel like 2020 is the year that I am going to be taking more risks. That is really what this whole focus is about. But the key to this one is I want them to be like really smart, educated risks, so that when I look back on them, I'm like, oh yeah, that decision really did me a service, even though it made me kind of nervous. Ooh, yes, I just made that up. And yes, I now consider myself a rapper. Number 2 is a big one that I've been carrying throughout 2019 that I absolutely was trash at, and it's discipline and developing routines. In 2020, I want to have my routines snatched. I want to be able to make them and stick to them and be really, really disciplined in establishing them throughout the year. All throughout 2019, it's been like a running thing that I have been absolute garbage at having a routine, and I feel like routines are so beneficial in so many ways, and we truly just don't have time. Like I said, I've talked a lot on my channel about how I feel like I lacked in that department this past year, and I'm actually determined to get to the bottom of that problem and solve it in 2020. Specifically, my subcategories for this focus equal my content routine for YouTube, developing a morning routine especially, as well as a fitness routine. The last focus of the year being knowledge. I really want to take the time to allocate my time just a little bit more intentionally with learning about things that really interest me. I want curiosity to be a big part of my 2020. This is very broad, like I said, and it should be, but for some more specific examples, I want to learn more about fashion and kind of develop my own style, learn more about business, and be more hands-on with my content creation. Here's a honker. I really want to concern myself more with the national news, and I just want to be aware of like what's going on in the world. I can really get caught in my little bubble of like college and going to A&M. If you guys didn't know, I'm a 4th year student at Texas A&M. I can get caught in my college life, just like my friends and my family, and want to take it upon myself to educate myself so that I can participate in conversations that are important. I really feel like it's kind of my duty, and it's really important to make the most of all the information that I have quite literally at my fingertips. And yes guys, that might mean less of me watching lifestyle videos and more of me instead watching random TED Talks about random things. Or it might mean less time watching TikToks, which I'm actually sort of fond of now, and more of me reading random articles on the internet. It's all in the balance, truly. Next, using your objectives, the focuses that we were just talking about that I just shared with you, and established a word or phrase of the year. Okay guys, don't laugh. Establishing a word or a phrase of the year can really help some of us that are looking for some order in the new year, and that find it really easy to kind of deviate from our path when other things distract us. Me, when we just like to redirect a lot and dabble in a lot of different things, me, one thing to ground you and keep you coming back to those focuses. My 2020 mantra is not anything new. It's not anything that I made up. You see it probably pretty often. It's Carpe Diem. It's Latin for seize the day. All right, guys, check this out. I've done a mantra for the past year or two in a row. It's great for a couple of reasons. First off, it's a great way to encompass and consolidate all of those focuses that we were talking about earlier together. And it should be a representation, like general representation of all of them, if not most of them. On top of that, it's an easier reminder to put in your everyday life. So if I have Carpe Diem as my mantra for 2020, I could get a Carpe Diem wall decor. I could put it on my phone background. I could write it. If you're in school, you put it in your locker. So it's just easier to implement into your daily life. It's kind of like an out of sight, out of mind thing. If something's out of sight, a lot of times it's out of mind. So if I have Carpe Diem everywhere, I'm reminded, seize the day. Okay, what does that mean to me? Brings back my focuses of content, discipline, knowledge, and exploration. Boom, right there. Carpe Diem, seize the day. We're learning more. We want to be disciplined in our routines, me, and I want to take more risks. Seize the day. It's just going to be a part of my lifestyle. That's what you want to do. You want to choose something that you can easily ingrain into your lifestyle, that when you see it, it brings back all of those things that we were talking about earlier about your focuses, your objectives, everything like that. Now, you can also change your mantra or your word throughout the year if you decide that you want to redirect, or if you accomplish some goals and you're like, okay, I want to try this. Pretty much if you want to change your overall mantra or your overall word of the year, you can also change up your subsets or your objectives or your focuses that we were talking about earlier to match. Okay, another reason having a word or phrase of the year is awesome. It is a really good way to evaluate yourself based on the things that you do accomplish during the year and the things that you just do in general during the year. So if I'm me at the end of 2020 and I want to self-assess and I want to evaluate what I've done during the year, an easy way for me to do that is to be like, okay, Carpe Diem. Did I seize the day? Did I do X, Y, and Z? Insert all of your objectives. That's an easy way to evaluate yourself. Did I become more disciplined in my routine? So I feel like a more worldly, sort of cultured, educated person, which is my goal. And lastly, what kind of risks did I take? Did I take calculated risks? Did I focus more on my priorities and put less time into procrastination? How so? Did I devote more time into my health and wellness? How? Did I allow myself to become more vulnerable? Was I more strategic with my money? Lots of examples there. And you want to make sure that you keep track of all of those examples and all of those things that you could be asking yourself come the end of 2020. I have a couple ways for you to do that, but the main idea is to establish a way to hold yourself accountable for all of the things that you plan to do in the new year. This is another super important thing. So often we say things out loud. I'm gonna run a half marathon. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. I'm gonna learn to play the guitar. All of these things I've said, only like 1.5 of them I've done. Okay, we might be able to say 2. The point of those examples, other than to ridicule myself, was to show that you need a plan. Think of it as a way to hold yourself accountable for the things that you want to do. Easiest way to do it, write it down or tell someone. Write it down in a bullet journal, a planner. I love using the Passion Planner, but I'm low-key trying to go all digital because I just want all of my stuff in one place. So I've been like really honing in on my Google Calendar the past like week and a half or so. You can use a digital method as well. You can even use your iPhone note. You can write a to-do list every day, but you need to have something that you physically type it out and it's like a process. You and your brain like have this thing going and you're like, okay, yeah, like I'm doing this. Like I'm not just saying it out loud, I'm actually putting it down tangibly somewhere, even if it's just in code of 0s and 1s, doesn't matter. So in regards to telling someone, I understand that not every goal needs to be shouted from the mountaintops or even to our closest family or friends. I'll let you guys make that decision. There's definitely goals and habits and New Year's resolutions that we can implement into our lives that don't need to be shared with everyone, or they could just be for us, and that's totally understandable. The main idea and the key to planning out your new year and sticking with it is not overwhelming yourself. You want to make sure that everything that you are wanting to accomplish seems actually feasible to you. You want to be a little bit scared and a little bit intimidated by your goals because that means you're doing something right, but you don't want it to seem so big that it's like impossible and it's so easy to give up. I hope you guys can take these ideas, make them your own, and apply them to your own personal goals for 2020. Also share some in the comments down below. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you vibe, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!